Hello you guys, it's Shanika here, the owner of Roseonna Naturals, and I am back with another series. Today I will be speaking to you guys about some very important equipment that I think that is important when you first start formulating natural hair care products, or even if it's cosmetics. These equipments can work for either or, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into the video. The very first equipment that I think that is important when you first start formulating will be a good set of beakers. I purchased these beakers almost 3 years ago from Amazon, less than $20, and they're still holding on. But yeah, I think that beakers are a very important component, especially when you're formulating small quantities of products. These are more than sufficient enough to get the job done. The next items that I think that are very important whenever you first start formulating will be a good set of laboratory spoons, as well as stirring rods. Now, both of these are very, very good when it comes to getting deep down inside of a beaker, especially the big one, and you need to mix your formulation, whether it's hot or whether it's cold. Both of these are able to get the job done, and both can withstand heat, which I think is a very, very key component when it comes to formulating. So this next item, I think that most of you have heard of before, but if you haven't, it's fine as well. And it will be the emulsion blender. Now, the emulsion blender works really, really well if you're working with some type of body butter, or even if it's a hair cream. The emulsion blender will help to thicken up that product. Now we are going to move on to the scale. Now this is the very first scale that I started off with whenever I started formulating 3 years ago. And this scale has done me a lot of justice, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you can see. It works really, really well when you're measuring like in ounces or grams. So it's good as far as measuring smaller quantities of products. As you guys can see, I am able to fit a large beaker on the scale. If the scale is not too big, but like I said, it's very perfect whenever it comes to measuring small quantities of product. Also, a very important essential that I think that is good to have will be a good set of sample bottle and jars, especially if you're planning on passing out samples to family, friends, or co-workers, or maybe the beauty supply stores. These bottle and jars really come in handy. The next item that we are going to talk about will be funnels. Funnels are really good to have for if you're needing to put your product in jars or bottles. All you have to do is just place the funnel inside the jar or bottle and just put your product in, and this helps to kind of eliminate making a mess on your counter or wherever you may be working at. So these are very, very convenient to have and very cost efficient as well. The next item that I will be discussing will be a temperature gun. And you don't have to get this particular one when you're first starting out, but some type of temperature gun or temperature stick is very, very good to have. That way you can keep track of your oils and water, especially, if both need to be heated up. You want to make sure that your oils and water is almost, the same temperature, because if not, they won't mix too well. The next item that I'm going to discuss will be stainless steel bowls. These are very important to have, especially if you're making larger quantities of products. Especially when you start passing out samples to a large group of people, you want to make sure that you use some type of bowl with plenty of space. I wouldn't recommend putting a large quantity of product into a beaker, because you don't want to jeopardize breaking your beaker, getting glass in your product. So a stainless steel works very, very perfect whenever it comes to making larger quantities of products. Next, we are going to discuss sanitation buckets. I have a smaller one, and I also have a larger one for my larger equipment. But I like to use the small ones when it comes to like my small jars and bottles. All I have to do is pop a sanitation tablet in the bucket and let it set and dissolve. And then I'll go ahead and I will put my larger bottles and jars in this little red bucket. And you can find this off Amazon as well. And also, I like to keep a large bucket on hand as well for my larger equipment, such as my emulsion blender, maybe my whisk, or my larger jars, medium-sized jars, or whatever the case may be. I like to put all my larger things in the bigger bucket. But yeah, guys, that is some of the equipment that I started off with whenever I first started formulating. Everything is very cost efficient. Even if you have to get everything over time, that's fine as well. Just work with what you have. And then, you know, once you move up, you can move on to, you know, some better equipment. But don't think that you have to go out and purchase, you know, a lot of equipment, because you really don't. Half of the stuff you probably already have in your home. Who knows? But yeah, guys, I just wanted to go over some things that I invested in whenever I initially started formulating. And as always, if you guys have any video recommendations, do not hesitate to leave those down below in the comment section. Also, I will leave my email address as well as my website address down below as well. And until then, I'll see you guys in another series.